Folks, welcome aboard. Flight 91 over from, we're going from Cartagena, Colombia over to Miami. So I did this one first in the live stream, kind of showing you how we're getting there. And now the next, we're going to show you how we're getting back. So looks good over there so far. Looking at the weather forecast. Let's kind of look at the observations, see what we got here out of Colombia. It looks pretty good. Weather all the way up. And there's a little convection areas we're probably going to have to worry about there driving into Miami. It's kind of normal stuff. You can see a building that's dissipating by now, so that's good. So all that stuff's going to be gone by the time we get there. Some overcast clouds, looks like. Some turbulence, light chop from a 737. Okay. And then below that, so just a little over above Cuba, but I think we'll be pretty good. This is just air. That's just kind of your convective air mass material, air mass thunderstorms that come in every afternoon. So I'm not too worried about that. Let's take a look at the TAF report here in Miami. We've got vicinity showers broken at 5. We're still VFR there. And we've got 130 at 10, greater than 6. Vicinity showers scattered at 2,500. Broken at 5. Again, good high ceilings. This might be a little issue here, but that's scattered. That's probably from 011800Z, and that is, let's see here. That's going to be tomorrow's time. We're in the 05 range, so we're going to be in this range here. We'll check it out. We're actually going to be right in this range. That's the forecast. So we're going to be at 01 right now. It's not even there yet. It's 12:32. Oh, 23:32, right? So even then, it goes 01. It hasn't even hit that yet. So anyway, yeah, that's probably where we're looking at this range. Greater than 6, scattered at 3, broken at 5, right around there. So not too worried about that TAF report. We don't need anything. We want to put a little bit of fuel on just in case we had an issue. That's one of those things, kind of how I want to do that. Precipitation, you could see that's like no big issue there. We kind of knew that was coming. And right now we've got some turbulence plots, nice and light, kind of a little bit bumpy when we take off. Then again on the descent, we'll get into some of that, but it doesn't look too bad. Take a look at the prog charts really quick. Kind of show you where it's going on. We got a nice high pressure over there. It's probably not high enough to keep everything down. And then an occluded front coming over here. So that's what's going on there. All right, let's see you on the aircraft. Looks pretty good. And it's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. We're using Active Sky again today. We're going to check it out one more time. We're going to keep Active Sky running. So we've got that running in the background. We'll see how it goes. Looks like we're disconnecting to the voice server and everything else. So, and we'll do this rather quickly. So we're just going to come upstairs here. The first thing we're going to do on a through flight is throw these to a line right on back down to the FMC. Let me go ahead and get the FMC. Fire it up. All right, there we go. So we'll click FMC here, and then we're going to go to init ref. You can see that the airport that we're leaving out of. I'm just going to pull up my paperwork just to make sure I don't type the stupid thing in. SK, so it's Sierra Kilo. Already screwed up. Sierra Kilo, nope. Sierra Kilo, SKCG, CNG. There we go. SKCG, going to throw it in. We're in gate 2. Doubt it's going to pull it. Oh, it did pull it. Look at that. And that is correct. So I'm going to dump that in there. And then come on the overhead. You're going to flip it over to nav. And nav. That's a quick alignment. That's what we would do on on these through flights. You kind of go ahead and do that. Looks like they're done with the catering. Catering's off the aircraft. We're going to call the fueler next. And we'll get the fuel pumped in here. And we'll call up I already got everything written down. We'll call up our our self-loading cargo. We'll get that fired up, and we'll start loading this aircraft. So I'm going to go ahead and click reset here. Now, I'm not going to do a full flow just yet because we're pretty early. So what I'm going to do is call in, try to connect on VATSIM again and see if that works. So we're trying to work our way back. We just cleared customs. That's why we're kind of a little bit behind schedule. We're going to take a look at those pitot tubes in the alpha vane there. Looks good. And our nose gear tires looking good. The oleo struts good to go. We don't have that weight on just yet. We're going to get the bags. Looking at the static source. That looks good. And the fuel's coming in the aircraft. Packs are off. You can see that mast, the water mast there. And you can look at your antenna. Make sure your antenna's good on both sides. Looks good. Engine cal looking good. You're going to have to wait there, buddy. They're telling us, hey, you're getting fuel on the aircraft. Yeah, I know. There's the fuel truck. Putting about 20-something thousand pounds of fuel. You can see the fuel pumping its way into the aircraft. Costs us some good cash here. That's nice and close to the strake. Ailerons are right back here. Check those ailerons. Flap fairings looking good, and the flaps looking good. Well, we'll take a peek at the engines. Great. Over here, back to the tires. And the brakes are pretty darn hot, so again, we had to sit here for 40 minutes, I think, on our cool down, but we're through that already. That's looking good. Doors open on this side. You're looking at the pressurization doors when I say that. Elevator's looking good. Nice. Nice afternoon trip. This is the PM shift. So this crew's taking this aircraft back to Miami. I don't know where we go from here. Pins look good, tires look good, and the torque tubes look good. Those are for your flaps. Lugs are great. And looking at the engine here. Excellent. Okay, leading edge is looking good. Again, engines, no oil spills here. Blades are looking good. Cowling's looking good. Look at your inlet for your packs. Looking good there. Ram air doors open. And then static port looking good as well. Alright, let's go up the stairs. This is very nice of them to get a covered stair. Welcome aboard here, folks. You would, again, brief your flight attendants. Tell them about the ride and all that stuff, and we'll do that here in a minute. Alright, we got the fuel on board. We're going to go ahead and write our numbers down here. 8630. Over 8630, and looking at 6110 in the center. Total it up. That's 67. That's 12, 13. Wait a minute. Airport search. We're going to do SKCG. Rafael Nuez. We're going to go 1. The condition here, I'm just going to click enter optimum, max, optimum on the flaps. We're going to set this to flaps 5. Auto on the air conditioning, off on the anti-ice, no on the improved climb. Takeoff weight is going to be right around 154.8.
Familiarize yourself with the safety information card located in the seat pocket in front of you. If you have any
Max CG looking at 19-ish.
Please don't hesitate to reach out to one of our attentive flight attendants. We are here to ensure your journey with Coastal Airways is safe, comfortable, and enjoyable.
19.
Once again,
Calculate.
we thank you for choosing Coastal Airways for your travel needs.
No, it's going to tell us. You see, it's looking for the best D rate, and we're going to have to change that because we're not going to D rate it down. So we're going to change this to 26,000, then we'll recalculate. We're just going to use an assumed temperature. At our airline here at Coastal, we don't D rate. we just do an assumed temp. So we'll come down here. We got flaps 5. Looks like 6.25 on the trim. 48 degrees on the cell temp. I'm going to throw that in there right now. It's 48 degrees on the cell temp. And then we're going to come in. We're going to go flaps 5. CG is going to be right around that 18%. We got a 5. And this is 144. So that's right. 146. That's what I see here. And then V2 is 150. And that's right too. So just checking it out. You can click this. And that brings you can print this out to see what you've got, which is pretty cool that you can print these numbers out if you'd like to, which is really cool feature that he did here. And then our trim 6.25, everything else looks good. I'm satisfied with what we've got. Looks like runway Tora, we got a 7,900 feet. We'll have about 807 feet left. So we have an obstruction obstacle issues here. So obviously we're going to be flying pretty much right over the ocean today. So no problem on that. Let's go ahead and get our answer the stupid call. Hello.
Captain. Okay, we've received the load sheet from ground. There's the passenger count, the crew count, and the total sold count. Plus yourselves, of course.
Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, looks like we're all set to go whenever you're ready.
Okay, we're ready here shortly. Let me just go over my NOTAMs. Ground's calling me too.
No problem.
What does ground want? Go ahead.
Loading has been completed. We're sending the load sheet up to you now. We'll contact you for pushback once you're closed up and the beacon light is switched on.
Thank you. I'll shut the cockpit door. Thank you. So the door's coming closed. Cockpit door's on. We'll go ahead and give everybody a briefing here. Just want to get our NOTAMs down before we take off. So you always want to look at the NOTAMs. Even though it's a 3-hour flight, it's always a good idea to just check your NOTAMs, make sure that nothing's closed. That'll really screw you up. Looks like from this time, April 23rd, it's closed from 06 Zulu, so we're fine there. There. Okay, and everything else is good. We got a couple segments there. Just looks like over Cuba area. Thunderstorms observed, so we'll watch for those thunderstorms on en route. I'll be ready for that. And then there we go. Our paperwork is good. One more thing. We're going to go ahead and throw our logbook up, and we're going to write some stuff down here. We got flaps 5, cell temps 43, trim 6.25, and I've got 144, 146, and finally 150 in there. Now, one thing I like to do is get the Miami weather before you call your passengers. It's always a good idea to get your weather, get going on what to expect before. We know the ride is going to be, looking at the Navigraph charts too, the ride might be a little bit choppy on the descent. So it's going to be bumpy there. I like to write that. And then the clouds are broken with light rain right now, but that might change by the time we get there. Broken overcast. Time en route, 2 hours and 32 minutes is what they're forecasted to be. Okay, let's go ahead and give you a briefing. Folks from the flight deck, welcome aboard Flight 91, nonstop service over to Miami. We should have you off the ground here in about 10 minutes. Once we're airborne, I showed about 2 hours and 32 minutes. Hopefully we can get some good winds and get you in there a little early, maybe 2 hours and 29 minutes. We've got 72 degrees in Miami right now, broken clouds, light rain. It might be bumpy down low. Obviously, we'll keep you posted as we get a little closer into Miami's airspace. Right now, sit back, relax, enjoy the flight. Thanks for watching the FSBN channel. View bleed is off. Coming on down here. We're going to go continuous, continuous. Taxi on. Set the flap. Flaps 5. Here we go. Nice. All right, watch your legs. Control check. All right, two good starts. Two good starts. Flaps coming down. Let's go to the checklist here for taxi. Generators are on. Okay, probe heat is on. Anti-ice off. Light controls are free. Flaps set green. We got 5-5 green light. Transponders on TARA. We're good to go. Let's roll. Start that roll. Whoa, what's he doing? Auto throttle armed. Let's stabilize. Runway 1. And toga. Here we go. Toga thrust set. We are out of dodge. A little bit forward pressure on the yoke. There we are. You're on the roll. 80 knots. Check. Relax that back pressure now. I mean the forward pressure. We're go. Happy birthday to you. It was right there. Hold it up. Get it in there. Now rotate. There we go. You're coming up. Let's roll that thing up to 20. Beautiful. Once we hit there, let's go level change, please. Lateral, I'm sorry. That's LNAV, not level change. What are you talking about? Flaps 1. Alright, VNAV, please. There we go. Alright, there we go. Flaps up. And then go from there. Alright, let's see what we get here. I like to throw the graphic on just to see what we're looking at. We got 3 greens, so that's kind of what we check. We look at auto brake 1 is not an option for us, but auto brake 2 or no auto brakes would be good. Auto brake 2 is probably going to be a best one. 9410 on the braking. If you can see the distance there, let's go to flip that over. You can see right here, auto brake 2, 9410, that's factored. So that's going to be, again, with the flare in there. 9410 is what we're going to use. So 9410 I'm going to write down with a ref of 151. Captain speaking, obviously we started descent down into the Miami area. We're looking at 20 minutes before we're in the area. Weather's beautiful down there, 72 degrees, just a beautiful day. Just some broken clouds. All that bad stuff has been pushed out, and might be a little bit bumpy below these clouds, but won't be too bad. Weather has really moved out. We should have you on the ground in 20 minutes. Keep those seatbelts fastened now. Thanks. Pitch up. We're going to roll it. Heading select. Here we go. Right into grit. Miami traffic, Riptide 91, turning base, runway 9er, Miami. All right, there's 1,000 to go. That's going to grab that 180 speed. And it's just going to, again, it's going to help it a little bit. Just give us a little bit of turn. There's nobody on final, so I don't care. We got 700 to burn. We are nice. We're looking good all the way in. This is a beautiful, beautiful plan here. All right, speed brakes are up. Beautiful. Turn a nice base leg here. 3,000, here we go. 3,000 a grid on the hold, looking for the runway. Got the runway in sight. Visual. Okay, see, and we didn't drag it in too much. See, that's the best part is, yeah, I get it. We got flaps down, maybe a little on the early side, but I wanted to just to kind of make sure that we're locked and loaded, and we're not gonna. It's a nice intercept angle here. It's gonna go ahead and set this to 0. Set to 0. Heading coming in now. All right. And we've identified the ILS eyeball, which is the ILS eyeball. And I've got a visual. So we'll call up Miami and let them know. Beauteous. Just keep it going. We're not going to drop flap or anything or gear until we're about 5 miles in to when we get to this INS or NS. Miami traffic, Riptide 91 on final, runway 9er, 7 miles out, Miami. You know, when it's your crew base, you just get really familiar with the airport. You know, you get familiar with the procedure, you know, kind of what works best, that kind of stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and flip this over to the airport now. Let's come up here and just throw that on. There we go. All right. Okay, speed brake is armed, and we got green light. Landing gear, we're going to get ready for that. You can throw the gear down now. And then we're going to go flap 15. We'll slow to 160. See, that's that nice 5 nautical mile ring, but before we get to that 3 nautical mile ring, we've got to be, that guy's on my runway, you better go. Ready? Here we go. There you go, set it down, flap 25, flap 30, set flap 30, we got 150 on the mark here. What did we say, 151? That's about right. Alright, give me a landing checklist here. Speed brakes arm, green light. Landing gear down 3 green. Flaps 30, 30 green. That's my plane. Let's take it over. And we'll fly it ourselves. Just verify that's off. We'll verify that's on. Great. And again, I don't want to do a duck under or anything like that. We're just going to keep it nice Nice and good. We'll keep the speed at 1,000 feet. We are on target, stable, and on speed. Looking good. Nice, beautiful weather here in Miami. Beautiful night, evening. A little bit of a crosswind here at 6 knots.
Traffic.
All right, where is that traffic? It's off scale, no factor. I don't want to float, so I'm not going to try to float the aircraft. So I do want to stay on target here.
500.
Check. The taxi light's on.
400. 300.
Now, you don't want to let it drop below ref. I've seen some people do that too. You want to keep this thing on ref.
200.
Yeah, all the way in here. You got a nice long displaced threshold. Looks like there's traffic right there. A little bit of power.
50.
There we go. Let's start pitching up. Start lowering. Pitching it up, pitching it up, pitching it up. Idle. Let it settle. There we go. Touchdown. Check your reversers. See, it didn't work.
Nice landing.
Coming on. Let's shut down number 2 here. Tap the brakes. There we go. That's it. We're tucked in here. Looking good. Brakes coming on. There we go. We're going to go ahead and shut down number 1. We're on the bus. Number 1's off.
Disarm doors and cross-check.
And seatbelts. All right. Welcome to Miami. Welcome to Miami. All right. We made it, folks. Let's go ahead and get the gate in here, and we'll get a deboarding. We'll get the chocks on the aircraft, and we'll get our folks cleared. Prepare, operate the jetway. We're going to say request deboarding. That's going to come in. We're going to set our wheel chocks right there. Set the chocks coming through. I will call the flight attendants right now. I gotta wait until they're cleared to deport. We're gonna come over here and throw the anti-cold light off now. And then they'll give us a call. I'm gonna keep the AP bleed on because that's gonna help. We're not gonna hook up. Remember, this is gonna be a bleed. It's gonna be an APU on because they're gonna have to get us across. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. Request ground power. No, we don't need it right now. We're going to just deplane.
Hi, Captain. Microphone check, please.
Loud and clear.
Loud and clear. Roger. Okay, Captain. Ground power is available. Stand by. We'll start getting you offloaded in a couple of minutes.
Okay. I'll clear the flight attendants are clear to deplane 2.